All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, Too Easy Sports Betting. I am Trice Too Easy. I'm gonna do a week 3 NFL slate review, give you guys my leans and then my top plays that I'm gonna play personally. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button, and if you've been here, you guys know what to do because you do it better than any community on YouTube. Thumbs up and comment anything. That's all I ask. You guys kill it. Thank you so much for continuing to comment and like the videos. You guys know it helps me boost the growth and boost the algorithm, so it gets my channel seen by more people. So I can't thank you guys enough. It takes 30 seconds of your time, and you guys always do it for me. Last bit of promotion. I did start a Discord server a few days ago. We got 50 members in there as of right now. It's getting active. It's fun in there. And, if you want all the plays, the live plays, the parlays, the top plays, all my player props, join that damn Discord. I'm in there all day, every day, chopping it up. Okay, so yesterday, baseball went 9-6, up 3.67 units. You gotta fucking love it. That's great. Let's get into the slate review and chop it up, start talking about it. So, first game, and today, guys, so far, Will Benson to get a hit, check. Jared Jones over 2.5 earned runs, check. Will Benson to get a single, check. Reds money line, check. Cubs game under 8.5, check. I'm 5-0 to start the day today. I'm on a fucking heater. Now's the time to join. All right, so first game in the NFL slate, we got the Eagles and the Saints. I can't wait to watch this, guys. So me personally, I like to use common sense sports betting. I like to just go off what I've seen. My eyes don't lie to me. We know 2 things in the NFL so far after 2 weeks. And the 2 things that we know is that the Saints look unbeatable and are balling, and the Vikings look unbeatable and are balling. That's what we know so far. We don't need to overcomplicate it. The Saints are fucking balling and the Vikings are balling. The Saints look much better than the Eagles do. A.J. Brown is still out. And if we're being honest, the Eagles look slightly above average. They don't look bad. They don't look good. They just look, I look at them and I'm like, they mid. They're a mid of the mall ass team. The Saints, on the other hand, look unbeatable. Guys, New Orleans went 16 days straight without a homicide. Carr is out there dropping the murder rate 1 touchdown at a time. How can you not back that? So I ain't got much else to say on it. The Saints minus 2.5 is one of the freest locks I've seen on the slate. I don't know why the Eagles are still being priced like this. They really don't look great on offense. They don't look great on defense. They just look average on everything. And Carr is going to have all day to throw. This is the biggest thing I don't see enough people talking about. Carr will have all day to throw these massive plays. He's been getting rushed in making these plays. Imagine tomorrow when he don't have any type of pass rush coming to him at all. He's going to ball. I think these Saints are going to put up 50 plus points tomorrow. You watch. Saints team total over 25.5. Saints minus 2.5 free. I love these plays. Lock them in. Giants and the Browns, guys. For this one, here's the thing. The Browns suck and the Giants suck, but the Browns suck less. I think the Browns should get a lot of sacks versus the Giants with a terrible line. Josh going to be out there fucking struggling for his life. But I do not trust the Browns offense to cover such a big spread. The spread is 6.5. I think that's too much. The Browns don't score. Their defense is good, but we ain't seen anything special from their offense. The Giants are capable of scoring a touchdown or 2. I think it's low scoring, ugly game that no one really cares about or wants to watch, but I don't trust the Browns to cover that spread. And the Browns been giving up about 6 runs per carry. And that's about the only damn thing the Giants can do. So I worry about that. I think it might be an upset for the Browns. I could even see the Giants winning. Low scoring, lots of running. I can't see the Browns covering a 6.5 point spread. I'd be on the Giants at plus 6.5 if I had to pick. I'm obviously not going to bet this, but that's where I'd be. And I actually do think it's a decent bet. I wouldn't be surprised, like on an underdog ticket, if you wanted to bet the Giants at plus 250 with another underdog team, it could be a great parlay. Packers and the Titans. Okay, so here's the thing for this one, guys. Malik looked great last week, but the Colts have the worst defense in the league. Like, top 3 worst defenses there are. Now, on the flip side of this week, he's versus the Titans defense, who is very good, and they should give him some issues. So, me personally, I don't expect the Packers and Malik to have a week like last week. However, I still do think they're just a better team all around. I think the Packers have too many weapons. They have a very good offense. They have a good offense, a good defense. Nothing is spectacular, but I don't think anything's bad. I think everything's above average. I think they look pretty good. And Malik was really balling out there. I do think this is going to be a good test to see how much we can back him moving forward with the way the Titans defense has been playing. So I'm excited to see what he does. That said, though, I have no faith or trust in the Titans offense whatsoever. And the Packers have one of the top offenses in the league. So I still think the Packers can win this. If I had to bet it, I'd bet the Green Bay at +3 to cover because the Packers are underdogs. Which is, it doesn't make any sense to me. I can't see it no matter what. I don't see the Packers being underdogs. I think if you wanted to take, for instance, Giants money line with the Packers money line for an early underdog parlay, I think that's a great bet. Green Bay Packers money line or +3, or give me the Green Bay team total over 17.5. Yes, I do. I don't expect a week like last week from Malik, but I still think he can get. I still think the Packers are just a better team with too many weapons. I can't see the Titans shutting them down. And even if they do, I don't see the Titans scoring on the Packers, who also are pretty good. Okay, so it's got to be Green Bay. I can't believe they're underdogs. Bears and the Colts. I'll be on the Bears money line or the under 43.5 total points. Guys, the Bears can't run, they can't pass, and Caleb Williams is pressured and sacked 24/7. Right? We've seen it. They really can't do much of anything offensively. They don't run well. They don't pass well. Caleb fucking runs for his life. Every time he hikes the ball, he's sacked constantly. But the Colts have the worst defense in the league. So if there is any team that these Bears were going to score on, it would be the Colts. The Colts have looked unimpressive. The Bears are 1-1. The Colts are 0-2. The Colts don't look like they can win a damn game. And their defense is quite literally the worst in the league. So the Bears, we know, can hold the Colts to not score too many. Usually the Bears' problem is they can't score. But they're versus such a terrible defense. I think if there was ever a time the Bears could score, it would be versus the Colts. So I think you have to back the Bears here. Bears on the money line is +100 now. That is exactly where I would lean. I don't think you need to overcomplicate it. Worst defense in the league. Two shit offenses. Let's go with the one who has the advantage here. I think the Bears have a slight advantage just due to the fact that this is a team they can score on. Bears money line or the under 43.5 is where I'd go. Next, you have the Texans and the Vikings. Okay. And this is my personal, people get passionate. See, baseball, I can say anything. You get to talk about football, motherfuckers get passionate. They ready to come find your ass. I'm going to just say it though. These Texans are the most overhyped team in the NFL. I'm sorry. They shouldn't even be 2-0. They don't look good. They barely beat the Colts. Barely. Then they barely beat the Bears. These are two bum-ass teams. They barely beat them. The Texans are an average team, slightly above average team at best. The Vikings dominated the Giants. And I thought that was an overreaction. I thought, okay, everybody's just hyping up these Vikings. Like, I don't see it. They go out there, dominate the Giants, go out there, dominate the 49ers. Vikings are not favored in this game, and that is fucking insane. It's insane. There is no world where these Vikings should not be favored. Let me make sure I got the I do. But yeah, there's just absolutely no world where the Vikings should not be favored here. I don't know what's going on with this, but don't miss out on the opportunity to get these Vikings at plus money. Please don't. Or just take them +2. But you could also just take the money line at plus 105 and call it a day. Or the Vikings team total. Regardless, we got to go off what we know. These Texans, they're so overhyped, barely beating some bums. Now they're versus a Vikings team who looks unbeatable. There's no way the Vikings shouldn't be favorited. We're not going to overthink it. We're just going to make a good bet and crack they dumbass, okay? Next, you got the Broncos and the Buccaneers. Guys, I'm on a full fade of this. I do think the Buccaneers win, but I know these Broncos don't want to go 0-3. I think their defense is good. I just think their offense is terrible. The Buccaneers defense isn't good though. So I do think the Broncos can get a little, it's similar to the same thing I said with the Bears and the Colts. The Colts and the Buccaneers are two terrible defenses. So I think the Broncos can move the ball and get some type of offense going versus the Buccaneers. Okay, I'm not going to back the Broncos, but I don't think they want to go 0-3. Nobody wants to start that way. And if they do have a chance to win against a team, I think it would be the Buccaneers. But and the thing is, guys, these Buccaneers, like, they just keep scraping out wins. They have Buccaneers on paper have top 5 worst offense and defenses. But yet they just keep winning. It's so confusing, and everyone calls it luck, and everyone wants to fade them. But like, I can't. They just convert third downs constantly. They have offensive drive after offensive drive after offensive drive that looks good. You can't. I'm just gonna stay away from it. Stay away from it. Let's just see what the Bucs do here. Let's see what the Broncos do here, and we can circle back around to these Buccaneers to decide if we're gonna start fully sending on backing them or not. Next game, we have the Chargers and we have the Steelers. I'm not going to overcomplicate this. Let's keep it simple. Two of the best defenses in the NFL. Chargers have a better offense, though. I mean, they're quite literally the two best defenses in the league. Then at least top three. If you do the three top defenses, you're putting the Chargers and the Steelers in there, typically. I would assume, at least if you watch football and track stuff. But the Chargers do have a better offense than the Steelers do. And I think they have an advantage here, so I'm going to keep it logical and simple. Chargers +3, not being favored. Again, it doesn't make any sense. Two of the best defenses, but one team has an offense and one doesn't. The Chargers have an advantage. They should not be +3 at -120. They shouldn't be. I would take the Chargers on the money line. I would even do a parlay with the Chargers money line and the Packers money line. Again, I think it's really good value. Or I lean the under 34.5 because these two teams' defenses are so good. Okay. Next game, guys, Dolphins and the Seahawks. Okay, so Tyler Thompson coming in to replace to replace Tua, right? Okay, listen, I get it, but these lines, these markets overreact to changes like this. The Dolphins are good, and I'm not ready to give up on them yet. I listen, I know people are down. I know people are mad. Tua's hurt. I know people have lost a lot of hope. But these Seahawks guys, Seahawks struggled versus the Patriots. They struggled versus the Broncos. And I do think the Dolphins as a whole are on a different level than the Seahawks. I just think there's levels to this shit. And I put the Dolphins here and the Seahawks here. I just don't think they're as good as a whole. I like backing backup quarterbacks, especially in situations like these. Big shoes to fill. I know they have a week to prepare for it. I think the line moves just an overreaction. I'm not ready to give up on the Dolphins yet. If I had to pick, I'd take the Dolphins on the money line, or you could do them on the +4.5 on the spread. Either way, I think it's a good bet and a good pick. So Panthers and Raiders, guys, it's a full fade for me. No one wants to watch this. No one cares. It's probably the worst game on the slate. I'm more excited to watch the Giants and the fucking Browns. But that said, guys, what I will say about this game, if I can find it, is that I don't like betting teams to go 0-3. I just don't. Raiders aren't good. Panthers are worse, but let's just see how it plays out. I don't have much to say about this. These two teams suck. I don't want to watch it, but I don't want to bet the Panthers to go 0-3. I don't like to do that. Teams play their hearts out to not start 0-3. So I'm sure it does happen, but I'm going to stay away from it. Ravens and the Cowboys, guys. Again, this is another one. I have no idea what to think about either team. The Ravens are so good and so bad at the same time. I truly don't know how they lose. I don't know how this team is losing, but somehow they're 0-2. Like I'm from Cincinnati. I know how the Bengals are losing. I get why they're 0-2. I don't know what's wrong with these Ravens. I don't get it. But the Cowboys look terrible versus the Saints, but then they look good versus the Saints. But they look good versus the Browns. Like, I don't know. This is a hard one. I think we need to wait another week or two and see what these two teams do before we start betting them and losing our money. Just we're here to make money like a business. We're not trying to really gamble. We're trying to make smart bets. I don't think you can make a smart bets on two teams that you don't know what the fuck to expect or what they're going to do. So it's a fade for me. 49ers and the Rams, guys. Let's just call it what it is. The 49ers look pathetic versus the Vikings. It was a horrible appearance. However, the Rams have not looked good once this year. They've looked bad in every game they've played. I don't have any idea what to expect from either of these teams either. I think we need to see more. I don't even know if the 49ers are a top tier team anymore. Truthfully, I don't. I think there's a lot of teams coming up that we weren't expecting who are going to end up coming out on top this season. I would lean the 49ers -6.5. But truthfully, on paper right now, the 49ers defense is just as bad as the Rams is. It's too hard for me to cap this one. I say just stay away. Next game, Lions and the Cardinals. Okay, so let's just call this what it is too, man. I'm not living in the past. I live in now. What I've seen, the eyes do not lie to you guys. You need to start going. A lot more bettors would do much better. Bettors would do better if they went with their guts and what they saw. The Lions looked really bad in both games. Let's call it what it is. They barely beat the fucking Rams. They only put up 26 points versus the worst defense in the league. They only put up 20 points versus the Buccaneers, another one of the worst defenses in the league. The Lions are overhyped and they look terrible. That's just the truth. So on the other side, you got the Cardinals who looked excellent, fucking destroyed the Rams, putting up 41 points on them, and they almost beat the Bills. They only lost by 6, and frankly, they should have won. Them Bills went on a tear on them. But I think technically the Cardinals should be 2-0 right now. If you just get rid of that absolute meltdown versus the Bills, and they came back next week and looked excellent versus the Rams. So for me, from what we can see, the Cardinals are the better team, and in no way, shape, or form should they be underdogs. So it needs hammered. The Cardinals +3 -120 is a fucking lock, and it should be locked in. And then lastly, guys, we got the Chiefs and the Falcons. This is another one where, listen, again, you need to use some common sense. Don't try to be a sharp. Don't try to outsmart things. Just call it what it is, guys. Why in the fuck are the Chiefs only -3? It's insane. The Chiefs have looked dominant for years now. They're a top 3 team in the NFL. They continue to perform. They beat the Bengals, who are good. They beat the Ravens, who are good. And those two teams, the Bengals and the Ravens, always come out and try to kill the Chiefs. For whatever reason, they just play better versus them. So they beat the Bengals. They beat the Ravens. It's 2 tough competitors. And they put up over 25 points in both games versus the Bengals defense and the Ravens defense. Falcons are a mid-tier team, extremely overhyped. I don't understand what the hype is around the Falcons. I don't know why people love that damn organization so much, but they do. That's fine, to each his own, but they're not good. They are average. They are right there in the middle of them all. I wouldn't even call them slightly above it. I think the Falcons are just mid. And everybody's hyped about these defensive changes and the trades they made. But again, I still don't see it. They lost to the Steelers. They got extremely lucky versus the Eagles. I mean, they should have lost that game. The Eagles coaching fell apart. Their defense let them drive the field in 60 seconds and score. Like, it was just a meltdown. That was pure luck, and the Steelers dominated them. And to be frank, the Chiefs would dominate the Steelers and would dominate the Eagles. Let's call it what it is. So to me, it's an easy lock on the Chiefs at the -3 or the Chiefs team total over 24.5. Okay, guys. So what did I actually lock in? What I'm actually going to be playing is this. Saints by -2.5 and -120. I'm on the Vikings +2 versus the Texans. I'm on the Dolphins +4.5 versus the Seahawks at -110. I took the Cardinals +3 at -120, and I took the Chiefs and the Falcons. I took the Chiefs -3 at -115. These are the 5 plays I'm personally locking. If you guys want player props, which I play about 10 to 15 of those. And if you guys want parlays, which I play about 3 to 5 of those, come join the Discord, $10 a month. Come tap in with us and we'll cook something up. But let's continue this hot streak. Let's keep it going. Hope you enjoyed the football rundown. Let's get out here, man. Tomorrow we're going to get a fucking bag after a great round of golf, breaking 80, and we're going to crack these folks.